Hello all, I'm Parvathy Menon, teaching assistant from the Department of English, Kristu Jayanti College, Autonomous. Today, I'll be teaching you the poem Refugee Blues by W.H. Auden. So the poem Refugee Blues, it talks about alienation, displacement, as well as the identity crisis faced by the refugee. So today, I'll be doing in stanza-wise analysis of the poem Refugee Blues. So without further delay, let's go into the first stanza. So before going to the stanza, I would like to introduce you to the poet W.H. Auden. So he was a British-American poet, noted for his engagement with politics, religion, morals, as well as love. And his first book, Poems, it was published in 1930 with the help of T.S. Eliot. And he also won the Pulitzer Prize in 1948 for the work The Age of Anxiety. And he served as a chancellor of the Academy of American Poets from 1954 to 1973. And he died in Vienna on September 29, 1973. Now let's go to the next slide. So the first stanza, say the city has 10 million souls. Some are living in mansions, some are living in holes. Yet there is no place for us, my dear, yet there is no place for us. Once we had a country and we thought it fair. Look in the atlas and you'll find it there. We cannot go there now, my dear. We cannot go there now. In the village churchyard, there grows an old yew tree. Every spring it blossoms anew. Old passports can't do that, my dear. Old passports can't do that. So what the poet is trying to say in the first line is that, say the city has 10 million souls. So the place which he is referring to is Germany. And in the second line, he's telling that some are living in mansions and some are living in holes. So it indicates the disparity between the rich and poor section. How can we understand that? Because he is mentioning that some are living in mansions. So by that, he indicates rich people are living in mansions and some are living in holes, means poor people, they are living in holes. Yet there is no place for us, my dear, yet there is no place for us. So what the poet is trying to say is that there is no place for them to live in this world. Once we had a country and we thought it fair, look in the atlas and you will find it there. So we can find that there are two people, there are two couples, a husband and a wife. So the husband is telling that before we were able to locate our place in an atlas. So atlas means a map. But when you look at the atlas now, you can't find that place anymore. Because what is the reason? We can't go back to that place. And in the next stanza, he's telling, in the village churchyard there grows an old yew tree. So yew is actually a tree. And see, when we nurture a plant properly, it has the ability to produce new fruits, right? But he's telling that every spring it blossoms anew. But old passports can't do that, my dear. Old passports can't do that. So what he's trying to say is that a yew tree, if nurtured properly, it can bear new fruits. But that is not the case with old passports, right? Old passports, they don't have the ability to produce new passports. So that is what the speaker is telling in the first few stanzas. Now let's go to the next slide and see what the speaker is talking about. So in the next stanza, the poet is telling, the council banged the table and said, if you have got no passport, you're officially dead. But we are still alive, my dear, but we are still alive. Went to a committee, they offered me a chair, asked me politely to return next year. But where shall we go today, my dear? But where shall we go today? Came to a public meeting, the speaker got it and said, if we let them in, they will steal our daily bread. He was talking of you and me, my dear. He was talking of you and me. So in the first line, he's telling, the council banged the table and said, so the authorities are telling to the husband and wife that if you don't have passport, then you are considered as officially dead. In the next line, he's telling, but we are still alive, my dear, but we are still alive. Just imagine these people, the husband and wife, they are still alive. And the council is telling them that if you're not able to produce the passport, means then you will be considered as officially dead. In the next line, went to a committee, they offered me a chair, asked me politely to return next year. So the husband and wife, they went to a committee. And what did they do? They were very polite with them because they offered them a chair and they told them, but asked me politely to return next year. So these people, the committee members, they were very polite. And what did they ask them to do? They asked the couple to return next year. But where shall we go today, my dear? But where shall we go today? So again, the husband is asking his wife, we don't have any place to go. So where will we go? So these lines, it indicates the identity crisis faced by these people. They are facing an exile in their own country. In the next line, came to a public meeting. The speaker got up and said, if we let them in, they will steal our daily bread. He was talking of you and me, my dear. He was talking of you and me. So the couple, they again went to a public meeting. And what did the speaker tell to them this time? If we let them in, then they are going to steal something from us. So this talks about the stereotypes pertaining to German Jews. So that is very important to notice. It talks about the Holocaust. The husband and wife, both of them are German Jews. So they are telling that, if we let the German Jews in, then definitely they are going to steal our daily bread. Now let's go to the next stanza. Thought I heard the thunder rumbling in the sky. It was Hitler over Europe saying they must die. Oh, we were in his mind, my dear. Oh, we were in his mind. Saw a poodle in a jacket fastened with a pin. Saw a door opened and a cat let in. But they were in German Jews, my dear, but they were in German Jews. Went down the harbour and stood upon the quay. Saw the fish swimming as if they were free. Only 10 feet away, my dear, only 10 feet away. Walked through a wood, saw the birds in the trees. They had no politicians and sang at the ease. They were in the human race, my dear. They were in the human race. So here, in the first line, thought I heard the thunder rumbling in the sky. So the thunder rumbling in the sky refers to Adolf Hitler. It was Hitler over Europe saying they must die. Oh, we were in his mind, my dear. Oh, we were in his mind. So the husband is telling to his wife that the thunder rumbling in the sky refers to Adolf Hitler, and definitely us, that is the husband and wife, both of them are in their mind, because Adolf Hitler, he wants to kill both the couple is what he is telling. Saw a poodle in a jacket fastened with a pin. Saw a door opened and a cat let in. But they were in German Jews, my dear. But they were in German Jews. Went down the harbour and stood upon the quay. Saw the fish swimming as if they were free. Only 10 feet away, my dear. Only 10 feet away. Walked through a wood, saw the birds in trees. They had no politicians and sang at the ease. They were in the human race, my dear. They were in the human race. So in these stanza, we can find that the poet is comparing animals with human race. So he's telling that animals, they are free to do everything. For example, a cat or a fish or a bird, they can do whatever they want. Why? Because they do not belong to, it's two reasons are there. First thing is that they do not belong to human race. The second reason is that they are not German Jews. And we can also find that nobody is there to control them. Politicians or no authorities are there to control them. But what is the case of German Jews? So many people are there to control their lives, and that is why they are not free to do whatever they want to do, is what he is telling in these stanzas. Now let's go to the next slide. So this is the last stanza. So the poet is telling, dreamed I saw a building with 1,000 floors, 1,000 windows and 1,000 doors. Not one of them was ours, my dear, not one of them was ours. Stood on a tree, plain in the falling snow. 10,000 soldiers marched to and from, looking for you and me, my dear, looking for you and me. So these last stanza is very important because it talks about the speaker's dream. So the husband, he's having a dream. So in his dream, he saw a building, and it was a very huge building, and it consisted of 1,000 floors. So he was telling that, 1,000 windows and 1,000 doors. Not one of them was ours, my dear, not one of them was ours. So he's telling that, I saw in a dream, I saw that it was a very huge building and it consisted of 1,000 floors, but it did not belong to us. Not one of them was us. Then he's telling that stood on a great plain in the falling snow. So this line is very important because it refers to the European countries which do not allow the German Jews to come there. So he's telling that stood on a great plain in the falling snow, 10,000 soldiers marched to and from, looking for you and me, my dear, looking for you and me. So he's telling that I saw in my dream, I saw that there were 10,000 soldiers, and what did they do? They were actually trying to look for us. They were trying to look for the husband and wife. So with that, the poem ends. But the speaker, W.H. Auden, is not mentioning like what has happened to the couple. But as readers, we can understand that the couple, they are officially dead because of the Holocaust. You can find that, German Jews, they were killed by Adolf Hitler. So towards the end of the poem, we can understand that both the husband and wife will die. So that is about the poem. And Thank you. So that is the end of today's presentation. We'll be coming up with a video on a later date. Thank you.